Good afternoon, YouTube. Alright, this video is going to be a little different than some of the others that I have done recently. This video is specifically going to be talking about an event that starts in beginning of 2011. It is in fact the relaunch of this franchise. And of course we all know by now what this is. Now, the reason we're going to be talking about it is for a couple of reasons. It's a couple of things. In 2011, Toei Animation is going to be beginning what is referred to as the global relaunch. Fortunately or unfortunately, a lot of people are going to get their hopes up that the show will be resurfacing here in North America. Now, I said North America because I'm encompassing Canada and the United States. Alright. There's just one problem. Even though the term is global relaunch, it does not mean it has to come to the US. Now I just confused everybody, didn't I? Alright, hold on. Raise your hand if you've ever watched the UEFA Champions League when it was on ESPN. I'll raise mine right now. Now, obviously, I won't be able to see if you have. But, listen to this. ESPN would run one game specifically for the US market, or the North American market. And then the announcers would say the following. For our international audience, now even though the US is part of that international audience, it does not necessarily mean we got it. Matter of fact, we didn't. You had to go on like ESPN 360 or whatever it was at the time, if you wanted to watch it, I think. So a lot of people are going to be going, well, it's kind of false advertising. No, it isn't. Here's another one to think about. At the height of the show's popularity in 1997, we'll say, around the time they showed the first, around the time we got the first season and first half of the second season, none of the companies brought any of the video games that were from Japan over to the US. Why? Because they weren't obligated. They were not obligated to bring the RPG, they were not obligated to bring the puzzle games, they were not obligated to bring the fighting games over here. So, in 2011, the relaunch is going to start. Now, does this mean they're going to be bringing any of it over here? No. And let's say they did. They are under no obligation to bring all 5 seasons. There are people thinking that they might. I don't see it happening, not unless Funimation does it. And then that's going to be a whole different problem, because there's talk that they want to just do a complete redubbing, which means you would have to redub 4 seasons, plus you would have to be granted permission to do the 5th season. Also, there would be talk about how you would, if you were going to bring this over, how would you do it? Well, funny I might bring that up, because that's something me and Triple 835 discussed. Chances are it would be in this form, basically a straight to DVD format. Would it happen? excuse me, it could, but chances of it, not likely. Considering the fact of the bad language, and as they refer to it, the bloodless violence. By the way, for anybody who wonders what that term means, it means any form of violence that obviously doesn't draw blood. If you want a good example of that, go watch episode 27 of the series. Go on YouTube, type in Pretty Guardian Sailor Act 27, and go watch the part where Dark Mercury takes her sword and slashes the moonstick, and then Sailor Moon just slumps to the ground, unconscious. Here's a newsflash: she ain't dead, but for some reason, when the stick got broke, she ended up falling forward. Which kind of made you wonder how bad the acting was, but nah, I'll get to what I think that live action did to the legacy of the anime. After I finish watching this series, which should be in the next couple of days, because I only really have one more disc to go through. But it's 15 episodes long. Yeesh. Excuse me. Also, I'll be doing a story review of where I got the thing from. And trust me, the story that I don't think too highly of that story either. But anyway, so yeah, people are gonna be thinking, oh boy, we're getting the global relaunch begins in a little over a month. Yeah, just one problem. That don't mean fuck all. As it stands, the test market has been Italy. To see how it flies, and so far it's flying pretty good. So what's going to happen when the relaunch starts, or the revival? Will it be brought to the U.S.? Under most North Americans' logic, the answer would be yes, it is. The problem is our logic versus everybody else's is two different things. The chances are that it will not happen. That's just my opinion. And anybody who thinks that, well, it has to happen because the company that owns the rights is taking down videos, taking down the Pretty Guardian episodes off of YouTube. Yeah. They also managed to probably get clips blocked when people were doing other types of videos related to the Sailor Moon program, because there's a little thing about parody that a lot of people don't realize. And this is apparently what's happening. They're taking down parody videos. There's that nasty little word in it. If they believe that any video demeans the franchise in any manner, it doesn't matter what the intention of the uploader, the video can and will be struck down, and there's no two ways about it. Even if you have a legitimate argument as to why it shouldn't be. Think about when Weird Al Yankovic did did the song Amish Paradise, which was a parody of Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio. Do you know how much shit Weird Al Yankovic caught for that song? Think about it. Here's what happened for those who don't remember. Weird Al Yankovic was going to do a parody of the song Gangsta's Paradise, called Amish Paradise. He gets a hold of the record label, who says, yeah, you can go ahead and do it. Well, the problem was Coolio had a problem with it. And when he was actually asked about the parody, after he won a Grammy one year, he said he was pissed off because he said, I didn't want it done, and he did it anyway. That's why sometimes when people want to suggest if they or make the suggestion they want to do a parody and somebody thinks it's not a good idea, then you're better off not doing it. But yeah. So there's the difference between a global relaunch and what could or should be expected with the type of relaunch they have planned. And also, a real quick mention about parody and why it's not always exempt from being struck down. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you too.